I think Gen X did everything too early. I think that this was a problem looking back on it. And I don't know why. It probably lack of supervision, lack of interest from from the adults around us. I call it benevolent neglect. They were off work and they were doing things. They were providing for the family. So I don't look at it as intentionally neglecting us, is why Gen X was so feral. But yeah, we did things too early. And specifically, um, smoking and drinking, which was not good. It is not. But I don't know why we wanted to be grown up before we were, but we were like these little people, little adults, when we shouldn't have been, when we should have been, you know, being kids. Because I started, it's funny because I was reading a journal. Did I tell you who I am? My name is Jeffrey Luscombe. I'm the author of Shirts and Skins and To Refrain from Embracing. I write novels about growing up Generation X and what it was like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. My first book covers the 70s, 80s, and 90s about one boy growing up in a blue collar town in Canada. And my second book is all set in the summer of 1977 because the summer of 1977 was awesome for anyone who was there. The summer of 77 was awesome. But that's what I read about growing up Gen X. But yeah, I think we grew up just too fast, too early. When I was writing Shirts and Skins, there's a section that's set in the 80s when the boy was in high school. Josh is the main character in the novel, and so I went back to my journals. May have talked about this before, but just how angry I was. First of all, during this time, but also just like casually sitting here having a smoke. 14 years old, right? My window's open. uh, having a beer, like while I'm doing my homework. Like I don't remember how I got beer. I don't remember how I got wine. Don't remember. Like cigarettes were easy. You just went and bought them if you had the money. But yeah, this like I stopped smoking 23 years ago. A couple of weeks ago was my 23rd anniversary, and I quit drinking actually 23 years ago in December. And I could talk more about that someday. But I was someone who it was best I don't drink. So I stopped 23 years ago. The same, just a couple of months after I quit smoking. But yeah, we just started so dang early with everything, and we just wanted to be growing up. Well, like I had two older brothers as well, so I wanted to be like them. I didn't want to be babied. I didn't want my mother around me or my father around me. I just I just pretty independent, and we all were. Is that so? We probably started doing things way earlier than we should have. Just this was just brought up because I had seen how Gen Z is not drinking, which is great. Like, um, apparently it's not good for you. That's one of the reasons I stopped. But they're shunning alcohol, which is really interesting because with us it was just like it was like on our brains all the time. Was who's going to get the beer for the party? When was the next party? Sneaking the beer in through the into the basement through the basement window for all your pals to watch uh, to watch a video. But this was it was like consuming was when was the next party? Who are going to get the booze? Who's going to be there? It was party, Animal House party, all the time. So, but I guess Gen Z is shunning that. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're having any fun at all. For us, it was fun. It was fun that through there and through college. Maybe got a little sadder, pathetic as you get through your 30s and into your 40s, and you're still doing it. But when you're young, yeah. But we started all that too early. Like I started smoking like at 9, probably had my first ones, and I was a regular smoker by the time I was like 11. And yeah, in my novel To Refrain from Embracing, the boy in 77, yeah, he smokes. And, yeah, and I think a lot of Gen X people can relate to that. But yeah, what else did I say they were missing? Is, oh right, they don't know what it was like to walk into a video store on a Friday just as the new releases were being put out. Do you remember that? Because like often when a new release came out, you'd have to wait a couple of weeks because everyone wanted to see it. But if you got there at the right time at the video store, or you knew someone who worked at a video store, and I did, um, then you might be able to get, Rain Man or Pulp Fiction or Dirty Dancing or some great new release that you didn't have to wait weeks to get. Like that was pretty exciting, get a new release on the day it was released. And yeah, I've talked about the secret Gen X uh, economy. When we were in high school, we all worked. It wasn't hard to get a job. I worked in a gas station car wash. So I would give people free car washes, right? Kids I went to school with, and they would give me free Tim Hortons, and they would give me free video rentals because they worked at a video store, or they'd give me free McDonald's, or they give me free Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so we all sort of like gave each other free stuff, which was cool. It was like this Gen X economy back in the 80s. Uh, yeah, because we all worked. I can still remember where everybody worked, all my friends, and where I got my stuff. I don't think I ever bought it, like paid for Tim Hortons coffee because I knew someone who worked there, and they never paid for a car wash when they came through my car wash. Right or wrong, that's what we did. I don't know if Gen X is, I mean, Gen Z, not they're not drinking. They're not, they don't know what the video. Yeah, it's funny because I just seen I could just like click and get the new Spinal Tap on my television. You know, like I remember like having to wait for the new release to see Spinal Tap and have all your pals over and getting that beer brought in, getting that wine. Yeah, there's always that one kid who looked like he was 20, 25. Uh, and he could get the wine and the beer uh, at the video store. But yeah, it was just part of my generation. I'm not saying it was right, not saying it was wrong. It just the way it was. That we just grew up too fast. What's that meme that's out there? It says we were 30 at 16 and we're 30 at 50, which is pretty much the truth, I think, about Gen X. Yeah, so this is my podcast. I don't always podcast on Substack. I sometimes just write a quick piece. I wrote a quick piece uh, a few days ago on Halloween 1977. It was like to be dressed up as one of the Planet of the Apes with one of those. You remember those costumes from Woolco? Uh, this was a Planet of the Apes one where you had the mask with like the elastic band that would break and that vinyl smocky thing that you just put on. It was like, oh, I'm Planet of the Apes. And all your friends had the exact same one. And someone would be Fonzie, and the smock would say Happy Days with a record or something. These were classic Gen X costumes. Some wise person should just like make one from scratch and go to a costume party wearing it, because that was our Halloween. So yeah, I just wrote a piece on what it was like Halloween 1977. But yeah, Halloween is coming up, and but we just had Thanksgiving here in Canada. Halloween coming up, and Blue Jays are in the World Series, which is pretty good for us. And oh, what I see, your White House was being knocked down yesterday. The president, like, I don't get this pretty political. I'm kind of political on X, where it's. And I know Substack can be political. I'm not going to get too political here. I'm just going to keep it, easy breezy books, Gen X, surviving cancer, not drinking, being sober. That's kind of what this is. It's kind of like a cool, easygoing place. You can just kind of ease in and ease out. But yeah, I saw what was happening to the White House, and I put up. I think I tweeted something like, "Oh Jesus! Like even during the War of 1812, the British didn't do that much damage when they burnt the interior. Like holy smokes!" But well, I hope that works out, and whatever he's doing to it, I don't know. But so people got really mad at me on that tweeting that too. It's like, how can you make fun of us? It's like, I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of him. Okay. So I think that is it. We talked too much about Gen X drinking, Halloween, cigarettes, all that bad stuff. Don't do it, kids. Gen Z is wise to avoid it all. Um, but yeah, Halloween coming up. And so if you haven't read my book, Shirts and Skins, uh, about 20, 30 years and a boy growing up, Gen X, my other one, To Refrain from Embracing, uh, all set in the summer of 1977 with a family going through a crisis when the father tries to commit suicide, ends up in the psychiatric hospital um, with the wife trying to keep things together. And yeah, I don't write light comedies or light romantic comedies. No, I do realism, or what the Spectator called broke ass realism, what was like to live in poverty, um, growing up and working class. I am much more Grapes of Wrath than Harlequin romance. But that's I just try to keep it true, keep it honest, and what it was like for me growing up. So if those kind of books interest you, if you're looking for the light romance, like just leave me behind. Don't even bother picking up a Jeffrey Luscombe novel because it's not, it won't be to your style. Uh, but if you dig, that realism, that naturalism, that uh, disease and alcoholism and gambling and all of that sort of thing, then my novels are for you. So I think that's it. And again, I'll try to do something, either do a podcast or write something here on Substack in the next week or so. Have yourself a good week and go Blue Jays, on to the World Series, and have a good day.